So.
There it is.
Okay, thank you.
And we are live, so we're just waiting on folks to start trickling in.
Oh, okay.
We're live, so we're just waiting on Mr. Middendorf. Long time no speak, sir.
Let's see.
Just getting some final things set up here, guys. You gotta be kidding me. They demonetized this.
You didn't even start.
Yeah. So let me get into my live control room here so I can pop out the chat. All right. Todd, Steffi, again, Mr. Middendorf, good morning and evening to everybody. As you can see in the title, this is the Build Divers Reflection stream. I've got Charlie426 here with me. Charlie,
hello. Hello.
There's not going to be any kind of video for this stream. It's just Charlie and I talking about certain things. Like, we're going to go over the characters, we're going to go over the story, and we're going to go over the gunpla and everything that were in the series, give our thoughts on them, and then just grade the show. And before we actually get going, I want to haven't done this very often, but I actually had an interesting conversation with a gentleman named Lucas a couple days ago. He runs gunplagarage.us, and I found him through the Facebook group Gunpla Network because he has a paint app that he's working on where you can take the line art of any mobile suit and give it a custom paint job. So I reached out to him. I reached out to him to see if it was able to do it for kit bashes, like combining the line art of different suits to be able to do that. He said it does not exist now, but anybody that uses HTML5 or knows how to should reach out to him. And he actually gave the squadron a permanent 5% off coupon. I'm actually editing the stream's information right now, and I'm going to be putting not only the website for his shop, which has both kits and tools. It is a small shop, but he's looking to grow big time. But we've got a permanent 5% off coupon for any purchases you guys make if you use this code I'm about to update into the stream's description. Just a couple more seconds here, everybody.
That's actually a very helpful app, come to think of it. And if you can actually do that with multiple kits, in terms of kit bashing, that would definitely help a lot of people plan out their projects.
Yeah, it would. That's why I reached out to him, because the one that I'm waiting to finish up in the Squadron's Discord, I'm trying to get my artist to talk to me, but timing just has never been there. Well, Charlie, I've been just so you know, I'm keeping an eye on the chat for us, and looks like the people we've got with us right now have been wanting to see you on a live stream, so this is good.
Oh, well, I guess thank you. I used to do live streams, but these days, I don't know, I haven't found the best moments or timing to do it, and I'm kind of scared to do it these days because of my really, really old incident of the drunk live stream that I've done once.
Oh, I don't even want to ask. So I'm not going to dredge up old memories. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's talk Gundam Build Divers. And also, and as an aside, a screw you to YouTube for already demonetizing this thing. Started. I can't believe this. But anyways. So, Charlie, when we were planning this, you said you had some things you wanted to go over. Do you want to go over them as we go over the sections of this review, or do you want to just jump right into them?
I think I'll talk about it later. I think we should go with the flow that you prepared, like the order to talk about things.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with story, or lack thereof. As you can kind of guess how I'm gonna be critiquing this series. Okay. I don't know if you know, but I did make a reflection video after the first 5 episodes of Build Fighters, and I compared it to Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try. And I was pretty critical of Divers because with Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try, by episode 5, you knew what the end goal of the main characters were. You knew how they were going to try to get there. But in Divers, it's just showing off this SAO MMO world. I've never seen, even until the last episode, well, the last 3 episodes, you didn't even have any kind of a quote-unquote end goal. It literally was just, I want to be as good as the champion. And, that's tissue paper thin. Versus becoming the world champion in the Gunpla single tournament or winning the All Japan team tournament. 2 very specific goals versus a very broad goal. So what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I've never actually reviewed the whole anime. I just usually watch them, but for Build Fighters, I actually really enjoyed the anime just for what it was. Build Fighters Try, personally, I just didn't like the anime, maybe mostly because of the kids from the series that I didn't really like too much. And also, I didn't really like the fact that this was more focused on students versus students instead of a wide variety of people.
Yeah, it was more Japan instead of the world tournament.
Yeah. And for Build Divers, I really had no opinion on it because Build Divers, the announcement of the anime was made when I was still working in Bandai Namco Entertainment in Korea, and I was actually working on or test playing the new Gundam Breaker series. So even before the anime,
something I didn't know.
Yeah. So before the anime actually started, I actually had the chance to see the H2 Magnum. And that is the point where, until Build Fighters Try, I had really low expectations for the series because for me, in terms of certain anime, for me, kits or the mobile suits were would be the main judgment of how I look at the anime. But when I saw the H2 Magnum, I was really surprised because to see a Gundam Age series kit to be in a Build Fighter series. So I actually was interested in, I had hopes in this, and I think they did pretty well, but not as much as I hoped.
I was actually very surprised to see the Magnum as well, because I thought that excuse me. I thought Age was kind of a no-fly zone because of some other studio owning Age.
But yes, that was actually the main thing I actually did want to talk about in this. Up until now, until Build Fighters Try, we have not seen certain series kits, and the main 2 of them were the Gundam Age series and the Gundam 00 Season 2 stuff. because as you mentioned, like in Japan, the TV studios actually have a big role of letting out content, I believe, and this was the main thing why we never actually saw any Age Kids or Double O Season 2 stuff. So yeah, I guess so. I guess starting from Battle Log, we did see that your Keradim Saga kid. So I guess that was like a small indication where maybe we are going to see more season 2 kids. Of course, that was time which I wasn't really thinking too much about that part.
And then they announced at the hobby show, they showed off that Harut. That
yeah. The blue Haru thing, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, it's a really long name.
Yeah. Type Sod, I see your question. We're going to table that till the end of the Build Divers discussion, but we will come back to it, okay?
So yeah, for Build Divers, like in terms of the anime, I guess I enjoyed it. Story wise, it was something that I totally was not able to like expect until like really late.
Hang on a second, Charlie.
Yep.
Thanks for that, Zeta. Apparently, there's an echo coming from my computer into the microphone, so I'm going to see if I can't switch around. All right, Charlie, try talking.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, that was pretty much it for Build Divers, and because at first I pretty much had low expectations because of Build Fighters Try, but with the Gundam H2 Magnum, I basically gave it a shot and I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't give it like 100 points out of 100. So yeah, because of a few other aspects that I personally didn't like. Oh, so that Haru kid is called the Gundam Zero
I'm still trying to get the echo fixed on my end.
Okay.
Well, crud.
Well, if there's anything I could talk about more is that other than the anime, for age kids, we were able to see more age kids in terms of manga.
You're gonna have to say that again, Charlie, because while I was trying to get the echo removed, I had no audio from you whatsoever.
Okay. So what I was just saying is that other than from the anime, we were able to see more or some age kids from the manga because I believe like from Build Fighters Amazing Ready, the second Meijin is in that series in that manga, and that he actually uses the Gundam H2 Dark Hound custom that he made. I believe after that he uses that that black or dark kid from that we actually did get a kid out of. I forgot the name. It's like Schwartz Ritter or something.
Schwartz Ritter. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The Black Knight.
Yep.
The one that I had to Monty Python when I did the review of it.
Yeah, I think that was like the one that he used after the Dark Hound.
All right. But coming back to the discussion about Divers as an anime, I really I was not thrilled with it. It didn't grab me. The aforementioned issue of not really having a clear defined goal. That's where my biggest critique of.
Yeah, I guess that is a good point.
Because it's literally every episode is just showing off another element of the GBN, which don't get me wrong. If the GBN existed today, I would be all over it.
Oh, definitely.
of the three build series that we've seen, Fighters, Try, and Divers, it looks like they're actually trying to make Divers a reality, because you remember a couple months ago they showed off that 3D scanner.
Oh yeah, they were testing on certain kits and actually like controlling it.
Yeah, so it looks like they're trying to actually make DBN a reality.
Yeah,
I'm all for. But other than that, the series really was just meh. There was nothing that had me laughing.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like Build Fighters or Build Fighters Try, Build Divers, in honesty, or pretty much any Gundam anime, it's usually like another advertisement for new kids, and that's pretty much what it's full of.
Yeah.
Because as much as I did sort of enjoy the series, the main thing that I personally did not like was the kid choice of like the main character being the Double O Gundam.
Yeah. Actually, what one of the things I loved the most about Build Fighters Try, and this is just a bit of a reflection on me, I loved how dense Sekai was with three women trying to hit on him, because I happen to love laughing at harem style animes, so that's some of my favorite animes.
Yeah.
But there with Divers, there were a few moments that made me giggle, but there was nothing that had me howling laughing like Sekai's idiocy in Try.
Yeah. I guess that's one of the main funny points of the series.
We got a couple comments from Zeta Gupla and Steve Middendorf. They're saying Zeta's saying his kid loved it. They got bored, then back in for the final arc. I can kind of understand that. Steve's son loved it. He loved aspects of the Diver series. And as a gamer, he connected with it, which, as a gamer myself, I can understand it. But it didn't fire my imagination like Build Fighters or even IBO. But props to Bandai for trying something new.
Yeah, I mean, any company will do something new at a certain point, and I think this was one of them. I mean, they could have done just basically another third anime of like Build Fighters and called it like Build Fighters like something, and pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. All right, so let's shift away from the series itself. Let's go to characters.
Characters.
Characters that you liked, you hated, were scared of, so on and so forth.
Well, in terms of characters, once again, I guess the most characters I admired were two. Number one was the champion, and then second was the Tiger Wolf, or just him being like his character.
Yeah.
At first, of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are aware of this, but when he was first going on, there were a lot of like how should I say issues regarding Maggie, the character, because of we're not really sure like if is he a he or she or whatever sort of thing situation.
Yeah, that's that's a subject I'm not really going to broach. But.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess Tiger Wolf and the champion were the best two because they were Tiger Wolf. He gave me a lot of laughs for some reason, and I did admire his like lines when he was like battling or fighting. And then for the champion, the part that made me mostly laugh was that he tried to disguise himself with a single mask. And then he covered up his kid as H2 Magnum to make it look like a Dark Hound. I mean, I felt like that's your best shot.
Yeah, but I mean, every series has to have a mask.
Yeah, the mask.
You know that.
Mask I'm glad they kind of got rid of that early.
Yeah, we've got some comments pouring in with people mentioning their favorite characters. I'll talk a little bit and then I'll mention the comment ones. So, I'm actually trying to think of a character I enjoyed. I mean, again, Kyoya, he at least was stable.
Mm-hmm.
Koichi, I liked Koichi, and Ayame had some funny moments.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what was the name? Rommel?
Rommel,
Yeah,
cunning Rommel.
he did try to become. He wasn't a funny character, but the series tried to make him funny by some means.
Yeah, because like the first time all of Bill Divers meets him, and then Sarah and Momo, it's like they
Yeah,
have hard eyes, and then the next thing they're petting
yeah.
him all over, and he is just chill as can be. And I'm like, hey, why? He's like, I'm used to it. And then they're also the comments are mentioning the dynamic between Shahryar and Tiger Wolf because those two's dynamic was quite funny.
Oh, definitely.
You could almost it would almost have been perfect if they would just, every now and then have a Fooly Cooly Furball style fight.
Yeah.
Zeta is saying that most of the main characters were pretty forgettable and didn't have substance to them. Sarah and Ayame were the two interesting ones. I'll agree with Ayame. Sarah, I mean, you could tell right from the get-go that she was a creation of the system.
Yeah. She wasn't human at the first place.
No surprise.
Yeah.
The biggest character that I thought was a heel of the series that I didn't like was actually the Gundiver Administrator.
Actually, that when I first saw him, my mind was blown because I never expected him to use like something from a really old series that wasn't too successful. So like that's from the SD Gundam Force, and
I was about to ask, didn't
yeah.
he show? I actually watched it when it came on Toonami here in the States just because, but I only remember Captain Gundam, I remember Zero, and I remember what was his name?
Bakunetsumaru. Yep.
I don't think we ever got the episodes over here that had Diver.
Well, he wasn't like a main character. He was like mostly meant for special missions. There was like only a few scenes where Captain and they would be communicating, but mostly in like combat situations. And they're mostly unlike Captain Gundam. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that at all.
Maybe well, the thing is that unlike Captain Gundam, Gundiver, it's not like he's not a single unit. There's like multiple of them. So that's why I guess his character didn't stand out too much.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But yeah, talking about characters actually reminded me one of my gripes with the story of the series. I'm sorry about the echo, guys. I've got my mic as close to me as possible, but Charlie is coming through my computer speakers. I've tried putting in headphones to get it to work, and it just mutes him. So I don't know what to do. I'm sorry about this. I'll try turning Charlie's voice down a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. Do let me know if the echo goes away or just gets better, okay? But what I was going to say before I saw the comment about the echoing. You remember the first episode where we met Tiger Wolf?
Yeah.
He had Riku and Yuki. He had them both doing all the martial arts stuff. And they were like, we can do this forever. We're not going to get tired. You remember that?
Yep.
And then the next episode, they throw all of that out the window and they're slogging, sweating through a desert. It's like, great job for continuity there.
Actually, that's something I never thought about that part. But yeah, that's actually one thing I guess they sort of messed up.
It's like we'll set something up in one episode and then we'll throw it right out the window the next.
Yeah, also like as you mentioned, they're not supposed to like feel pain inside the network. And then one of the things that got me confused is that on the same episode we see them like eating stuff. I was like, how does that work?
Well, I mean, when you play an RPG, you can have your character eat depending on how in depth the RPG is.
I guess so. So yeah, that's like so basically, there's a bit of like empty areas that they forgot to fill in the series.
Yeah. Hey, Second Soundwave, welcome, man. Yeah, we've got comments coming in saying you really think they were going to put complicated plot lines and well thought out story arcs in a series that was completely aimed at pulling younger audiences
actually,
in?
no, I was just waiting for more age kids to come out.
Yeah, I was hoping that Kyoya would get an age 3 upgrade.
Oh, honestly, I saw legit like the main character would be using like an age 1 or age 3, since like the champion is using an age 2, and he says he wants to become like champion like him. So I thought he would be using like one of the other age 1 or 3, and we get more forms as a kid, but but nope.
Nope, didn't get anything.
Yeah.
All right, Second Soundwave, you mentioned they immediately tossed out one of their most interesting concepts. What was that to you?
Concepts.
And Makoto, I agree, the brake decal concept was underwhelming.
They didn't really put too much thought on it, I think.
Yeah, Zeta, almost an age FX at the end, but nope, still an age 2.
Well, at least we're getting that white H2 Magnum kit.
I have the H2 Magnum and I haven't built it.
Oh, well, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I guess I also heard from a friend from Japan is that the main reason for H2 Magnum is that H2 was the most popular of the of these 4 ages.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The no fatigue mechanic. Yeah, they did just really mention it, throw it out, and then never come back to it. So that was a pretty interesting concept. Yeah, Second Soundwave is saying he was hoping that he would get to see them work around and exploit the mechanics of the games more. So, yeah, they really... I mean, yes, it's a kid's show, but heck, even kids' shows can have somewhat followable... I don't even know if that's a word. You can follow the plot lines relatively easy. But I think that just about does it for the character discussion, because so many of them were just plain. Nobody stood out.
I guess that's like the main thing of like GBN. Like you can become whoever you want to be. So I guess they're trying to do something that there's no one guy in this series or sort of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Makoto, I'm glad you asked. That's actually the final topic we're going to talk about with this reflection on Build Divers. All right, Charlie.
Yep.
Let's talk Gunpla.
Well, okay. For the kids that's already out up until now, which is up to the Jegan Blastmaster. I've only tried 4, which is the first 4 kits that came out: the H2 Magnum, the Double Diver, the Gym 3 Beammaster, and Grimoire Red Beret. Honestly, all of them were pretty fantastic kits. But another thing that I always keep in mind is that if it's something from like a Build Divers or I mean Build Fighter series, they're going to have a pretty much base kit. So if the base kit had like limited articulation, um, obviously the custom version will also have the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I follow that.
yeah. So for the four I've tried, which honestly the H2 Magnum, Double Diver, and Beammaster, they were pretty great because their base kits were also pretty good quality. Um, of course, for the Double Diver, I was kind of it got me confused because the Double Diver it was kind of how should I say? I got a lot of issues or a lot of comments on my videos or on my posts regarding on Facebook is that they told me that I've been using the stickers wrong, but other way, they kind of did something interesting with the stickers. While the Double Diver did not come with any clear green parts, but they covered up with those stickers. But the later, like the Double Diver Ace, I heard it came with an actual like red clear parts or proper clear parts. So that's kind of something weird that I wasn't really getting.
You're correct on that. It did come with both
Yeah.
red and green.
So that was a
Second
confusing
Soundwave is
part.
actually recommending you try the Double O Sky.
Oh well, after the Red Beret, I was actually hoping or planning to try out some more, like the Ogre Jinx, the Giraga, and then GN Artron. At that time, I got seriously busy with other kits. Basically, I think this was the time where I basically decided to like review more Premium Bandai kits at the time, and I had like every month like a few Premium Bandai kits come in delivery, so I was busy reviewing those, and I barely ordered kits. So, like I mean, unless they're premium Bandai kits, I barely order kits online. So I usually go to Gundam Base to get the kits. So I didn't really
Which
have
I'm
much
jealous
time
of,
to
by the
actually work
way.
on them.
I am very jealous you get to go to Gundam Base. Just let me know that.
Yeah, but it's also a wallet burner.
I don't care. I'm jealous because I want to go there and I will get there. I just don't know if it's going to be in 2 years or 20.
Well, I mean, if you happen to like drop by Korea, just let me know. I'll definitely love to help you out.
Of course. All right. Now, I'm probably going to be a lot more scathing concerning the Gunpla than you because when Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try came out,
Yep.
by about the 5th episode, or maybe a little bit later, there were suits that existed that I looked at them and I was like, I have to have that in my collection. The first that I can think of right off the top of my head is the Lightning Gundam.
Ah.
I looked at that and then I saw the transforming capability and I was like, that has to be in my collection. I've actually got a second one with the BWS Mark I that I'm going to be doing in custom squadron colors. No kit bashing or anything like that.
Okay.
With Build Divers, it took until they announced the Shining Break for me to actually look at a suit and be like, that needs to be in my collection.
Ah.
Like I said, I haven't
The
even
one that's
cracked
looked like a mixture of a Shining Gundam and like Zeta Gundam, right?
Shining and more
Or
Curious,
Curious?
I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, Curious, yeah, because of the wings.
But nothing grabbed me. I mean, really, throughout the series, the Double O Diver, it was okay. The
Yeah,
Cheese
I
Master
get what you
was
mean.
an orange GM3.
Yep.
I've never been a fan of the Grimoire design.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, even though I got the Magnum, I just lost interest in wanting to build it. Actually, second, it may not be from the anime, but it did get, 3 seconds worth of animation. So that's good enough for Bandai. But, I mean, I just bought the Giraga, but I bought it for the torso to use
For
using
the
one of my kit bashes.
Yeah.
And then Garibaldi Rebake, I was not interested in at all.
Same.
the Zero Maru, I mean, it's not a cross silhouette It's not a cross silhouette SD. It's going to have the same issues, I would imagine, as the Star Winning with that real mode where you've got an SD trying to be an HG, and that's just.
Yeah.
And then I saw Krosama's unboxing of the SD Zero Maru, and that sticker sheet.
Oh yeah, like every red is a sticker.
Yeah, it's, I'm having flashbacks of Rebake Full City.
Oh yes.
Because good Lord, was that thing sticker heavy, and I didn't even build it, but I saw the stickers and I was like, nope. The Ogre Jinx, no, I wasn't interested in that. A Stray No Name, which everybody seems to be going crazy over, I look at that and that thing is hideous to me. So yeah, it took the Shining Break for me to actually be excited about a suit. And even the Magnum SV, I look at it and it's like, I can live without it. So the Gunpla designs of Bill Divers, at best, I would grade them at a C. That's just me because I've got my own style. I've got my tastes I like.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
The designs just didn't do anything. They really didn't.
Yeah, honestly, like some kids, at first, like most of them, I was like, because usually we would get the kid announced first, and then we would see them in the anime, and most of them didn't really give me like a big impression. Especially the Dragon Blast Master, even in the show, it was very like I was kind of disappointed. At first, kid-wise, I actually wanted to get it, but after seeing the series in action, I was kind of disappointed.
Actually, Charlie.
Yeah.
Second Soundwave, who's in our chat room, he
Yep.
has done a few podcasts with me and so on, but he's built that, and they did something actually very interesting with that kit. You know how the original Jagan has the old school polycap ball and socket joints for the hips?
Oh yeah, I think I've like seen the review of it as well. It actually has different connectors, right?
Yeah, it actually has the universal joints tucked in inside the old school armor pieces. So I will give Bandai props for that.
Yeah.
No Zeta, no
I'm also looking at
Lomo Kapul, no Penguin.
I'm also looking at the leftover parts, and honestly, if I do get this, I might be able to cook up like another Jegan kit with everything I have from the leftover parts from all the premium Bandai Jegan kits I got, I think.
That honestly would not surprise me.
Yeah.
I actually got into a streak where I was doing, well, at least building some P Bandai kits like you. I haven't reviewed them, but I've got the Heavy Gundam. I've got... oh, doggone it. I've got the Pack RX 79, but that kit's given me some pretty bad issues, honestly.
Oh. Like what?
The chest ball socket will not stay connected. And then the gray piece that's supposed to go under the blue part of the chest behind the cockpit block, it's still loose as all get out. It doesn't tuck in or tighten up. I don't know if I did something wrong.
That's odd.
And then, of course, I had gotten into trying to build some kit bashes, and I've gotten around to finishing rough draft construction on 4 of them. And my friend over here, he has 1. I've got 3 here. There's Phaeton, there's Orpheus, which I am still trying to finish the details on the head for, and then there's Figaro, which is for a squadron mate. But I actually sent you a picture through the Hangouts.
Oh yeah.
See that the completed one on the right with the Legolas head, that's Figaro.
Yeah.
And then the one with the Zadra torso is Orpheus.
Actually, I'm also working on like a self project using the Gundam H3. I'm still working on it. I'm not really satisfied with it yet, but I'm trying to use like an H3 mixture. Have a more simplified H3. So I'm still working on it, but hopefully it works out well.
You and I we're gonna have to talk more about that because I might be able to help. Since I've been dealing with parts for the I've been dealing with the parts for the like H3 Fortress, trying to blend those, blending pieces from say Lightning Zeta and
Yeah.
H2 Double Bullet. So I know my way around some H kits. You tell me what you're looking to do. We'll see if we can't slim it down. Okay.
Yep, that would be helpful. So yeah, other than back to the kit thing, regarding the Build Divers kit, only recently after like the last two episodes from Build Divers, the H2 Magnum SV version was just basically become like I need that sort of kit for me.
Yeah, I mean I like the new color scheme on it, and I like
And it's yeah.
the add-ons, but it still does not tick that box that just is like I
Mm,
have to have it.
yeah. It's just me. Like, if it's just an H kid, that's just good enough for me. It's like another excuse to get another H kid for me.
I hear you, because knock the show for all you want, but the high grades were all fun.
Kits. Yep. Also regarding kits, I think this is one of those things that I think a lot of people would agree is that I'm actually wondering if the GPO2 ogre thing is actually like becoming a thing or not.
You actually just took the question right out of my mouth. I was about to ask if you thought that was going to come.
Uh, Honestly, I mean, if it does come out of kit, I think I would definitely buy it. Not only for its concept, but well, sort of for its concept, because I think it's the only kit up until now that we saw that's something from a Universal Century mobile suit, but has a GN drive slapped on the back.
I think it
So
is
yeah,
one of the only ones we've seen that is, again, Universal
yeah,
Century and GN Drive.
yeah. So that's something I want to see how they made the connection. But yeah, honestly, I'd welcome it if it does happen. If not, oh well.
Yeah, that's another one I'm on the fence about. We know we're getting Mobile Doll Sarah and all of her
And
creepiness.
more the two GB and guard type mobile suits, the normal one and the one that looks like an RX-78 with the weird colors.
Yeah, we're getting I will get that RX-78, but those colors have to go. I am
Yeah, I
not doing
mean,
those pearls.
I'm
If
just
I
kind of curious where they got the colors.
Well, the
Because in the
higher the
show
sky
it
things,
was it was
I would
just
almost
gray.
guarantee they had the idea from that.
I mean, in the show it was just totally gray, and then they release it as a really radical color.
I didn't even see the thing in the show.
It was like a brief second when uh, the the game master was releasing like those large missile things. There were like GBN guards holding it, and one of them had like an RX-78 ish look on it.
All right, I'll see. I'll probably have to go back and take a look at that, but
Yeah, it was like a brief second.
I can already see that if I get this thing, if I get that Jim with an RX-78 head on it, it's getting a
Oh,
T3
yeah.
paint scheme.
Yeah. For the GBN guard frame, I'm definitely interested in it. I'm not sure how many I'll get, but definitely, if maximum, I'll try to get two and keep one as its normal form, and then the other maybe like make a custom version.
Actually, I'm remembering one other suit that I know I'm going to get when I can get around to it. The Impulse Arc, the blue one, the one that has the
Oh,
huge
yeah.
cannon.
Honestly, I legit thought they were like age kits, but turns out to be the Impulse base. I had plans on getting them at a certain point, but um, Korea got a whole long delay for those, and my situation was not in the right moment, so I had to pass on those.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't come back and get them later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna get them someday. It's not soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix. It's a mix of an
Yeah,
H2 and an Impulse.
yeah. I like the way how they did the chest. Instead of having an age system, they covered it up in like green piece sort of thing.
Actually, the more I think about it, it's not H2, it's H3.
Ah, is it?
I think the torso was H3, and then you've got the Impulse legs.
Hmm. Oh.
But again, overall, I give the ex, the excitement of the Build Divers Gunpla for me is at best a C.
I can sort of see that. I mean, every week, like I would see people react to the series, and they were pretty meh. I will admit on that part. Other than like on Facebook, I would see every week posts like regarding the series, questions regarding the series, and always a post mentioning where Patrick was.
Patrick?
Yeah, the pilot. He. I forgot his full name, but like on Facebook, I would always see like this cameo character in every episode.
Hmm. So, what kind of grade would you give the Gunpla?
Kid wise, I guess a solid B, because like at least most of the quality of the kids seem to be pretty good. I'm not saying 100%, maybe about 70 to 80% of them were pretty decent. The fact that they used the H2 base, the Garaga base, Double O base, so it was a good selection, but not something that was too interesting.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What about what about your grade for the what about your grade for the characters?
Characters, well, I think character wise, they try to do a lot of stuff, but didn't turn out well. So maybe like a C plus or B minus.
Uh, D plus C minus.
uh, yeah, I mean, since I did sort of enjoy watching the series, kind of gave me a bit of laugh. So I'm just trying to go easy on it.
Well, I mean, yes, there are moments of giggling, but I'm I still got to try to. I'm still going to be honest with how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, what's your grade for the story?
Story wise, I think that's where I would have to give either like a C minus or D.
Uh,
Because it was really, how should I say, I don't know, I feel like they were trying to
lackluster.
do something. Yeah, they were trying to do something, but it just turned out in a totally different direction.
Yeah, D minus from me.
Yeah. I mean, I was like hoping to see like, I mean, granted we did see the main character fight the champion, but not in that. I wasn't expecting it to him fight in that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna go more into it, but I could probably rant and rave for an hour or so on the story and the rest of this series. But
Yeah.
I think we've covered I think we've covered most of the main parts.
Yep.
So did we also cover everything you wanted to talk about? Because I know you'd.
Yeah, I think I did talk about what I
Okay.
wanted to do.
Well, there was a question that was posed earlier,
Yep.
and I said I'd table it until the end of the Build Divers discussion. What are your thoughts on New Gundam Breaker?
Oh, well, as I mentioned, I was working on that game when I was working in Bandai Namco Korea. I was actually the main tester and checking whether like translations were properly done and stuff. Um, as a tester, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed to the game. Because at that time, because I was given the task to test the game, I've been playing the Gundam Breaker 2 and 3 a lot, and I enjoyed those games, and I had a lot of expectations, but turns out it's not what I expected. They changed like a lot of the battle systems, they changed a lot of stuff, and the main thing that really got me down was the fact there weren't as many, how should I say, kits in the game compared to the last one.
Yet when
And
they announced it, they said that every single kit from Breaker 3 was coming over.
well, I wasn't really catching up with like announcements or news on the net, so I wasn't really sure what they said. But as a person who played it early, I was disappointed, and I was kind of worried for the company. I mean, I was like legit worried about, are they actually going to release this game? And I was like, I was like, I was like hoping, can you not? Sort of way.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Breaker 3. So when new Gundam Breaker was announced and it was said it was going to come to the States, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. Then I got the game.
Well, yeah. The game, well, there were some other elements that were never seen in any other Gundam games, and that part was kind of funny. But when we look at the big picture of the game, that's something that they should never do again. I mean,
I actually
granted, I
don't. I don't
did.
mind the high school and the dating
Yeah, I
scene.
mean,
I
yeah, I
don't
mean
mind
that gave me
that.
a laugh, but that part sort of like made some cheesy parts as well. So yeah. Other than that, I wish that if they're going to do something similar, that's fine, but just bring back the old battle system. That's what my main point, the main thing I want back.
Yeah, I want manual aim back, and I want what I want back is I want to be able to mount, say, Destiny's backpack and not have to pick if I'm only going to use the sword
Ah,
or the gun.
yeah. While I was testing, I also did read an article regarding like there was an interview with the makers, and they basically said in a nutshell was that they checked like the performances and how people play the Gundam Breakers 3, and the main thing that I'm not sure how they got this, but is that they mentioned that people were customizing kits like in a way, but they weren't using the full potential of it. They would be adding parts they don't even know or wouldn't be even using to a kit, and that's the part they wanted to fix, and that gave us somehow new Gundam Breaker, and which I really don't understand how that worked, but I
I
can
don't
totally
understand either
see.
because if you take away option parts and then you make the builder's parts cosmetic only, it's like,
Yeah,
duh.
there was a lot of stuff like I didn't really understand. Uh, yeah, that mostly that part.
Like if you
And
want
they
here,
also they what I've also heard is that they wanted to go into the more multiplayer aspect of the games because that's what pretty much any game is doing these days. But I thought Gundam Breaker 3 was already a pretty good multiplayer game.
yeah, it was because you're playing with your team,
Yeah.
and then you can. I mean, yes, you didn't really have PvP,
Ah.
but the. I mean, all they Gundam Breaker 3 was not broken. It
Yeah.
did not need to. It did not need the fix, in quotation marks, that is New
Mm,
Gundam Breaker.
mm.
Wait a minute, second. Are you serious? He's saying that they're going to make changes to how builder parts work in the next update.
Ah. Uh, well, I'm no longer working for them, so I don't know.
I didn't even know you worked for him, period, until this live stream.
Well, I'm currently a college student, and I took a year off from college to to work and gain some work experience. And luckily, I was able to get in Bandai Namco Korea as an English translator and game tester. So I've been working them for about a year, and then yeah,
Very cool tidbit of information.
yep.
So I can't really think of anything else to go over. I mean, we've given our grades on. Excuse me. We've given our grades on divers. We've talked about characters, the Gunpla, the story, and then we took the question from Gundam Breaker. Actually, you know what I'm going to do for the next few minutes? I'm going to open the floor to questions from those watching us.
Yeah, sounds good.
You guys, if you guys have questions for Charlie or me or both of us. Makoto Ataka wants to know what we thought about the animation quality in Build Divers. I
Animation
honestly
quality.
didn't give it a second thought.
Yeah, I never. I mean, since it's airing, I thought the quality was okay, but that's animation quality is something that I really never like think of too often, to be honest.
The thing I was very glad about is that the character designs weren't like the kitty designs for Age, and it wasn't
Oh,
the horrible animation that was G Reco.
yeah.
All right, question from Zeta Gumpla. What would be your avatar and kit of choice in GBN?
Ooh. Well, I guess avatar wise, I don't know. I don't think I would be making like a human-ish thing. I guess I would make myself look like another mobile suit that I would pilot.
I would be my avatar would be human. I'd probably be walking around in a Zaft uniform or something like that because I happen to love Gundam Seed. Now,
Yeah.
as far as kit of choice, I wouldn't stick with a single kit. I would take one of these kit bashes that I've been working on.
Yeah, for me, like as I mentioned, Avatar would be also most maybe like I don't know to make it funny. My avatar would be like the GXs, and the kit of my choice would be like a G Bouncer, but I like modify it or customize it on my own style.
Funny. What are your thoughts on Gundam narrative?
Ah, I am actually really excited for it for some reason. Number one, well, first of all, the kits they gave us a lot of cool kits, especially the Gustav Karl. That's
But
already
isn't
like a
that
big
Unicorn?
thing for me. I mean, it was seen in Unicorn, but it was also seen in like old previous series. It was a mobile suit that existed for some time, but we're finally getting a kit of it, and it's also in the series of narratives. So yeah, um, and the DJ as well. And I really love how they did the teaser. I love the music.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I basically have high hopes for it.
I'm gonna reserve judgment, but I can already tell you a couple things I'm not a fan of,
Okay.
or things that I'm disappointed in. The narrative Gundam itself, because of how incomplete it looks, I just can't stand that look.
Okay. Well, I
And I'm
guess
actually
that's true.
very upset at the high grade Sinanju Stein we're getting because I know this is going to seem petty, but doggone it, I want a high grade Sinanju Stein with the Sinanju Stein's shield. Do not close off the end and give me the Sinanju shield. I want that beam cannon and missiles.
Well, I mean, to be honest, in these days, we could sort of expect the original Sinanju Stein to become kind of like the P Bandai version, have worse at this point.
It probably will.
Yeah.
But what is remind me again, what's the timeline for narrative? Isn't this supposed to be in between Double Zeta and Char's counterattack? Is that what I remember them saying the timeline for this is?
Actually, I've been reading like both two stuff, so I'm actually confused myself. Some people say it's like before Unicorn. Some people say it's um after, which I don't think that makes sense in a way. But
I've heard
according
both. I've heard
to
after Unicorn,
yeah,
and I've
basically
heard
I've heard both versions, so I'm not sure which to believe. But according to the wiki, it's UC0097, 1 year
okay, that
after
is
the
just after
opening of
Unicorn.
Laplace's box. Yeah, just right after.
Okay, and Zeta, you're saying it'll have more complete forms as the show progresses. It's actually a movie.
Oh wait, is it? Well, it's an upcoming anime film. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's from what I've read, it's like Char's counterattack, like a 2 hour long movie.
Ah, I guess that could work. I don't know. These days, I'm kind of well. A lot of anime industries are they're trying to like limit themselves to like a if short 12 episode thing, or like trying to like make it short these days.
Okay, another question for if GBN existed. What
Ooh,
would be your force nest?
my force nest. You mean
Mm-hmm.
like the base, right?
Yeah.
No doubt, mine would be the Diva.
The Diva?
Yeah, the main ship from Gundam Age.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Yep.
Mine would be an Alexandria class cruiser from Zeta Gundam.
Ooh.
I know it's a Titan ship, but I just love the lines on that thing. Okay, do you think they'll do a season 2 of Divers, or do you think they'll try a new build series altogether?
Ooh, I don't think season 2 is like an option at this point. Uh, Honestly, I don't think they're gonna do a season 2. I'm pretty sure, like in a few years, maybe another year or two, we might get another series, like similar to Build Divers or Build Fighters, I guess, because it's basically like a never-ending advertisement plan.
That it is. And we've got our next IBO installment to start thinking about.
Oh yeah, isn't that like another like movie sort of thing?
I've not gotten a clear answer. Again, there's
Yeah,
rumors it's a series, there's rumors it could be an OVA. All we know is that they just dropped
like Image, yeah,
yeah, the
on
image of the
Twitter.
Gundam. I'm
Yeah,
just
there's
upset that it's
still
I'm just
yeah,
really
there's
upset that it is not a Calamity War series. I wanted a Calamity War series.
yeah, even on GundamKidsCollection.com, they have no confirmation whether it's a season 3 or an OVA sort of thing. For me, I didn't really enjoy IBO that much, so I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. That's it.
I loved season 1, and I was again very critical of season 2, but I can at least give Bandai props for attempting and going the route they did, because they just showed what happens if you try to, climb the ladder too fast, or you try to shortcut your way to a goal.
Yeah. The only gripe I had was that, other than the common stuff that people had, was kit wise, Gundam Flower was pretty much the my most favorite Gundam from that series.
The
But the
Calamity
thing,
War version was my favorite.
but well, either way, the fact that it did not make up to like the 1-to-100 scale full mechanics part was kind of the main gripe.
Yeah, because I had a I actually had a kit bash planned for Lupus Rex, Vidar, and
Uh,
Bale, but I
ooh.
needed Flauros' head.
So yeah, I mean the HD it was okay, but for me, like all the IBO HD Gundam frames I had, they all had the same issue of the weak waist or torso sort of thing that was like dangling around. So that's like one part I personally didn't like, but other than that, the kit it was like the most unique looking one of all the Gundams, but never made one to 100 scale.
Yeah, I actually love the Flauros face because it's
Yeah,
probably one of the meanest faces out there since Zeta.
hmm, I guess that makes sense.
Comment section. You guys got any more questions for us? Give them a few seconds to post any if they've got them for us.
Sure.
Okay, here's a question for you, Charlie.
Sure.
Would you rather play in uh, Gunpla Duel or GBN, and why?
Ooh. So Gunpla Duel would be the old classic style of build fighters, right?
Yeah,
Uh, Oh, this is tricky. But once again, I sort of like care for my kids. I really don't like to see them break. So I guess the GBN would be the case for me.
It would be the case for me as well, because if I spend the time, you know, if I spend the time and the money acquiring the kits and then going Dr. Frankenstein on them, I don't want that thing getting torn up in one fight and having to go back and repair. I would rather build the most perfect kit bash that I could. And then if it's going to get torn up, at least it gets torn up virtually.
Mm. Also, like in GBN, you can actually sort of feel or get the feeling of that you're actually inside the mobile suit because you have like a hanger to put it in, and then you can actually go close to it. While the old classic version, it's pretty much a kit, and then it starts. You just control it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Outside of Gundam, what are the games you're waiting for?
Just
Uh,
any games.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm waiting for Soul Calibur 6, and then I'm waiting for Ace Combat 7 next year.
well, for me, I'm just still waiting for the next G generation game because I know it's happening. um,
I
and
would love for
then
that to come to the States because I've seen playthroughs of the G generation games, and I love how in depth you can get with the suits.
oh,
You can't
definitely. Well,
customize them, but I
you
love the
can still
selection.
try Genesis because Genesis should have an English version.
Hmm. I'll
Uh,
have to look into that.
yeah. Then other than that, I'm playing my Nintendo 3DS these days, but I'm still like waiting for new Switch games, especially like I don't know, like maybe Animal Crossing for the Switch and other stuff that I've
Animal
been
Crossing.
hearing. Yeah, something like I used to play as a kid. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Favorite color scheme on a Gundam?
favorite color scheme.
I've always been a fan of blacks and teals.
Hmm. Favorite color scheme. I don't think I actually have one right now, but yeah, so I really can't tell. But yeah, maybe something white and bluish might be the case for me.
All right. Any love for the newer P Bandai MGs like Stormbringer, Cubile, Big Mitts, Balver Crab, New Hyakushiki?
Uh,
Zeta, you're so funny.
well,
I
for
actually ha-
people,
I
yeah.
I have the Stormbringer on order. That's the only one out of that list that I've got on order.
For me, well, I have the Gym Dominance MG, and I love the kit, but the Stormbringer pre-order sort of happened too suddenly, so I wasn't able to order it. I do have the Polypod Ball, which I actually did enjoy the kit. It was actually my first Master Grade ball, so yeah. Um,
I
other
just
than that, yep.
I just can't get into the ball. No.
I mean, it's a funny thing, so it's something like I just bought it for jokes.
Yeah, I mean that's
Okay. And other than that, what I'm looking forward for is like definitely that dark black Hyakushiki thing is actually getting my interest. I'm waiting pre-orders for two more premium Bandai kits. One is the H3 Gym Cannon for from Origins, and the other one would be the RG Tallgeese 2.
yep. RG Tallgeese 2, Jim Cannon. I've got the White Heavy Gundam on order. I
Ah,
finished my GM Dominance. I just haven't reviewed it. And again, I love that suit. But
yeah.
I do have Stormbringer coming.
Mm. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Other than the premium Bandai kits, I'm still looking for these days.
Yeah. Well, okay. So before we close out, I'm going to again plug the website that I found a couple days ago, guys. For those of you who weren't here when we started the stream, for those of us here in the States, even though this guy does do international shipping, I found a website called gunpluggarage.us. I found him through Facebook, through the Gunpla network, because he has a tool where you can take line art of mobile suits and custom color them. So I again reached out to him to see if it could be done with kit bashes. It can't be done yet, but he's looking for somebody with HTML5 experience to maybe bring it to life. Now, the reason I tell you that story is because his shop is small, it's looking to grow, and he has graciously gifted all squadron mates, or everybody who watches this stream and any of my videos from now on. There is a code in the description. There's a coupon code, 5% permanent discount. And the website is in the description as well. I updated it right as soon as the stream got going. But I want to see this guy grow. He has selection of kits as well as tools. So everybody who's watching this, or everybody that does watch this, please go show some love. We always want Gunpla stores, especially Gunpla stores in the US. We want them to succeed. And the website is gunplagarage.us. I can't really think of anything else to talk about, Charlie. What about you?
Yeah, I'm sort of out of stuff.
All right. Well, Charlie, it was an absolute pleasure to have you as a guest on this stream.
Yes, I also had
definitely
fun.
Gonna have to do more collabs.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I know it's very late for you, sir, so I appreciate you staying up. I will let you go ahead and go get yourself some sleep, okay?
Yep. Also, once again, I had a good time. Also had fun answering all sorts of questions, and hopefully we could do this more often as well.
All righty. Well, second, I see your note. I'm gonna really quickly, as soon as this stream is over, I'm gonna go to the site and then I'll update it again in the description. But thank you to everybody who came out, and thank you to Charlie for staying up extra late. And until the next one, take care, everybody.